What's up guys, the Red Cloak here, and today is chapter 308 of My Academia. Last week, again, I couldn't really review chapter, the actual last week chapter because, again, there was no chapter last week. But this chapter really showcased Deku and how strong he's gotten by the past month. And all I gotta say is, damn, Deku is a Chad. Deku is nothing but a Chad. He has grown so much. I'm just so proud of him. This is only the fan translation because, again, it comes out on Sunday, so make sure to support the official release because I don't really record on Sunday, so the fan translation is only the way you guys can see my full opinions. But if you want to see my full opinions, go on Twitter and follow me there. I know it's a shameless plug, but again, just go follow me. Now let's get into chapter 308, All Out. Chapter kicks off from last chapter when Deku finally saves Yo, and now Muscular knows that this is Deku because of the voice. He can recognize it. And Deku has his mask on, not showing Muscular his real face. I gotta say, this dude is cold. Deku is cold. I don't know what Deku's been through, but he is a cold mother trucker. Muscular then comments how he missed Deku so much, and he tells Deku not to run away because this is his grand revenge. And Deku's still not saying anything because, again, his goal is to get Shindo out of there and finally take on Muscular. And all I gotta say is, Deku went off in this fight. I'm very proud of him, and I know I kept on saying this in the beginning, but again, Deku's a cold mother trucker. See Deku using this smoke screen quirk, which again, it's probably one of the one-for-all users, and he's using this tactically. Because remember, last time with his fight with Muscular, he did not have any tactics to verse against Muscular. All he could really do was just punch him really hard with one for all. Turtle Girl from Shindo's class finally makes it, and the citizens are just saying, yo, what's going on in our city? Because again, Muscular's going on a rampage, destroying building after building, trying to get after Deku. And Deku says, thank God you're here, please take care of Shindo. And the Turtle Girl then says, I've heard this voice before, who are you? And Deku goes out to fight Muscular. So I'm glad that Horikoshi kept it in that these guys still know who Deku is because they heard his voice and they know how he sounds. Deku then reassures her that there will be no more casualties from here on out. And again, the Turtle Girl recognizes his voice. I don't think she outright says it's Deku. And Deku says that he overdo it and that he's gained control of the area. Now he must defeat Muscular with the tactics and the quirks that he has. Then the other one for all uses, the one that actually looks like Best Genius and has like black hair, he then says that you've been using too much of the smokescreen quirk and do not let this advantage go to the villain's favor. And it looks like Deku can finally conversate with the one for all vestiges. That means more tactics and somebody in his head that can help him during these battles. And Deku really needed that because sometimes he just felt alone or depending on himself. Now he has multiple minds that can help him with long fought out battles because we know these guys are veterans. This Genius Senior, yes, I'm calling him that, is saying that you're making the same mistake that the other one for all users made. They're relying on one for all too much. And he's saying that he has the biggest burden to bear because he's the latest of the generation of one for all. Do not let one for all use you. Use one for all. Best Genius Senior then tells Deku that you rely on our quirks a little bit too much, I suppose, but they won't be enough to serve as your crutch. And he told Deku to use these powers as his tool to help him fight in strategical battles like this one. So I think for Deku's approach, instead of broad and brash fighting and trying to use those air bullets that he used against Gentle Criminal, I think it's more strategical way to fight his villains, like how he's doing against Muscular, using flow, using the smokescreen, using danger sense. I think this is a good way Deku can fight his opponents now. Deku understands that Muscular isn't just a regular villain. He's somebody who can withstand 100% of one for all smashes. So the plan is, basically just use a smokescreen and try to catch him off guard, but if he does find a way to get to Deku, he used Danger Sense to block and dodge. And again, that's kind of beautiful. That is one of the best tactics I've seen Deku use, using Danger Sense to dodge all of Muscular's attacks. And if he can feel like Muscular is wide open for an attack, he'll use Black Whip to bind him. And Muscular is kind of pissed because he didn't think Deku would actually use these tricks, and Deku just tells Muscular straight up, where's Shigaraki, the liberation of the other villains? And Muscular, being Muscular, he says he doesn't know because Shigaraki just told him to go crazy. Muscular then tells Deku to stop talking with his small talk and let's get clashing to the death. And Deku then says, why does he have these urges? The question that he never told him in the first battle they had, because Deku, all he could really do is just fight and fight. But now, knowing Shigaraki and now seeing inside Shigaraki's head, he now wants to ask him the question. Muscular then says to live over life without no regrets. And Deku then says, regrets, what would they be? To not be able to fight with you. And Deku then says, there's no other path for you, Muscular. And he just tells him that none at all. And he tells him to stop giving small talk and stop giving this therapy and just fight him. And Deku then recollects himself and just says, maybe if I understood him in the beginning. Deku then thinks about Shigaraki and says he'd still murdered countless people, and Deku says to himself, in the present, a rematch is pointless. But despite that, I could feel it inside, deep inside his heart. And Muscular then starts telling Deku that he's becoming stale, but Deku then vanishes. Deku decides it's time to end this fight with Muscular. There's nothing to gain from this, and there's nothing that he can really say, because Muscular is a straight up murderer. Deku then comments that Muscular's muscles were pulled. Yes, from his fight with Shindo, Shindo actually did something. He pulled Muscular's muscles, and the reason why he didn't jump after Deku is because he took effect from the vibrations from Shindo, and Deku's going to use his advantage and one punches the boy Muscular. And Muscular says, I want a legitimate fight with power, and Deku says, this is my power. And that is the end of chapter 308, All Out. Now with that chapter ending, I want to talk about Shindo. Yes, Shindo got completely demolished by Muscular, but your favorite character probably would have got demolished as well. So back on the topic, Shindo really did do something. He helped Deku, pull Muscular's muscles out of joint. Well, Shindo did by himself, so I think that's why Deku was waiting so long to actually fight Muscular. I think he was waiting for Shindo to actually do something, or that was just surprisingly luck. But again, Shindo, we gotta give him some props. He did what he had to do. Now for Deku's improvement. Deku has improved a lot. He did use his power. He used all of them. Float, Black Whip, Danger Sense, the smoke screen that he got from Best Jeanist Sr. He has grown, and he used these abilities to not only beat Muscular in a fight, he one-punched him. And I don't think that could be said with, the beginning Deku who fought Muscular. That couldn't be said by him. Deku one-punched the man, and it was great. And I love how Deku's developed his abilities, and not only trying to use One For All, he's using the different quirks of One For All to gain his advantage. But maybe we see Muscular in the next chapter. Maybe Muscular is not done yet, and Deku needs to still fight. But overall, Deku has become the One Punch Man of My Hero Academia. And all I gotta say is, I'm impressed. I can't wait to see the development of the other characters in My Hero Academia, like Shoto, Bako, anyone else. And this chapter was a 9 out of 10. It displayed these powers nicely and displayed the tactics of the fight. Probably one of the best fights I've seen from Deku against a villain. I'm not trying to say that this is possibly better than the other fights, but this is probably my favorite, and the others up there. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, comment down below what you all loved about this chapter, and hit the bell notification if you totally stay notified. Now, it's been the Red Cloak. I'm headed out of here. Peace out, and I'm out, guys. Peace. Have a good rest of the day.